Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome back to Bow and Arrow Tarot and today's Pick a Card series, Who's Crushing on You and Why? So today we take a look at someone in your life that has a massive crush on you, who they are, what they may be going through right now, and what it is about you that's making them crush so hard. We also took a look at what Spirit has to say about all of it and what guidance Spirit has for moving forward. Remember, these messages are timeless, and these messages find you when you're ready to receive them. So, as always, take a deep breath, soften your gaze, and allow your intuition to pick your pile. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Timestamps are below, and if you need another minute, this is a perfect place to pause the video. So let's begin with pile number 1. Welcome to the reading for pile number 1. We are going to get right into who's crushing on you right now and why. We're going to start with this person's animal spirit. We have mouse energy, earth energy, someone who is very busy, very tactile, right? Very earthy. What do they feel when they're around you? Emotional intimacy. So this is what they're feeling when they're near you. What other energies do we have? 9 of Pentacles is coming in for them. So someone who is quite independent and at the same time does very well with their money. And we have a Tower moment happening in their lives right now. So of course, we're going to go deeper with all of these cards with our clarifiers. Now, what is it about you that they're crushing on? Why are they crushing on you? They see you as moth spirit. This is someone who is a go-getter, right? Someone who will not stop. Is a hard worker. We'll talk more about that. They see star energy here, a hope, a dream come true perhaps. And we have chariot energy, so the beginning of a whole new chapter. This is quite interesting, quite lovely. All right, and what does Spirit have to say about all of this? Curiosity. Yeah, there's a lot of curiosity here. Certainly from their part, I almost wonder if it's from your part as well. We have Spirit of the Moon, cycles and visions coming in, as well as finally Spirit of the Gesture, trickery, right? But we're going to see what that all means for your message. So, who's crushing on you and why? Let's just start right off with their animal spirit and what is it that they feel when they're around you. This person, the mouse. The mouse is such a lovely animal spirit associated with earth, associated with being extremely busy, a lot of little tasks to get done. This person is someone who's always on the go, always doing something, right? Can oftentimes find themselves caught up, in doing all of the little things, and may need some help with seeing the bigger picture. Nevertheless, this is someone who's very, very active, very earthy, very hands-on, and very capable. Now, when they're around you, they have a sense of emotional intimacy with you, and they have a connection here. As I look ahead to Moth Spirit, it almost seems like the two of you are simpatico souls, right? And so there's an emotional level here that you are triggering for them in a good way. Now, what other energies do we have coming in? 9 of Pentacles and a Tower moment. So this person is right now at this moment, I'm going through a huge shift. 9 of Pentacles energy, they're definitely someone who, like the mouse, works very, very hard, but they're kind of solo, whatever work they do, whatever accomplishments they have achieved, for the most part is down to their own sort of doing, right? They're kind of in a lane on their own, in a category of their own, but yet they're going through a Tower moment. Right now, something is happening in their lives that has really changed their outlook on something important to them, right? Whether it be the way they see life, love, the way they see their career. A Tower moment is, oftentimes an event has happened out of your control, but it's changed your entire perspective. So I want to know a little bit more. Before we move on to the why they're crushing on you, let's talk a little bit more about that Tower. 4 of Swords, they're waiting, and we have an Ace of Wands. Interesting. So it's almost as if they've been hit out of the blue, by you in a way, and yet they're sitting back and they're waiting, right? They're trying to decide, what do I do next? Ace of Wands energy, oftentimes a lot of tarot readers won't tell you this, but it is the great phallic symbol in the deck, right? So we're talking about an extreme amount of passion, attraction, fiery energy, and the spark that starts that off. And so I dare say that this tower moment may have indeed been coming across you, and yet they're not necessarily, with that Four of Swords, they're not necessarily ready to make any kind of move, right? I think they want to see a little bit more. They might be taking a break. It almost feels to me like it's a bit it almost feels to me like it's a bit of a surprise to them that they have come across you, right? This tower moment is part and parcel of this crush that they're having on you. So it could be very well that you may not be the type of person they're normally attracted to. They may not be the type of person you're normally attracted to. There's a sort of, unknown here of like, wow, what a surprise. I did not expect that. And it's interesting because it's definitely, I want to say, feels like it's thrown them a little bit for a loop in the sense that they're going to wait before they make any moves or decisions, right? So now, why is it that they are crushing on you? They see you and they see moth spirit. Now, the moth is interesting. In this deck, this oracle deck, this moth spirit resonates with someone who oftentimes can get so obsessed, I would almost say, so attached to a particular action, activity, work, whatever. I dare say it may even be like an addiction, right? Oftentimes, moth spirit calls us to surrender, meaning to let go and surrender to the understanding that something may be pulling at you a little bit too much. Now, when I see why they have a crush on you, it feels to me very much like this person is a bit of a workaholic. You see that they already have a certain amount of success, of financial stability, financial success, and they crush on you. They have emotional intimacy when they're around you, whether you know it or not. They feel that connection. And I think what they love about you is that they almost see very much the same energy that they have. I dare say you may be a workaholic. I dare say you may be one of these people who's just very, very driven, inasmuch as this person who's crushing on you is also very similar. It almost feels to me here like they don't often find anyone on their wavelength or anyone who is similar in this personality trait. And so they are attracted to that. They see a compatibility here. Now, let's go on to the other energies associated with you, Star and Chariot. There's a deep feeling of being connected to, I want to say, a purpose, a goal, with that star energy. I think that they really feel that whatever work it is, whatever it is that you're so strongly passionate about, that's really coming forward in your energy that they're attracted to, it's also because you believe in it. And I think they're really admiring of that. Chariot energy talks about a desire for a new chapter, laying the foundation for a new chapter, right? I think they can see themselves building a life with you. Again, we're talking about a crush here, right? Not necessarily a relationship or a connection yet, but if you resonate with this pile, of course, I think you're going to know who I'm talking about. So yeah, there is the beginnings, I want to say, the beginnings of a new chapter, the beginnings of building towards something. Also, what they love about you is that they can see that you are the type of person who does work towards something. So you're definitely dealing with somebody, I want to say, who's not a fly-by-night. They have a crush on you, and deeper than that, they desire going to the next level. So, for instance, I don't feel an energy here of somebody who plays the field or a player, player energy here, but somebody who crushes on you as part of that crush is their ability to see a future with you, right? So let us pull another card for what connects the two of you. Well, here we go. Four of Wands energy. Could very well be the beginning of a love connection. Four of Wands is, of course, the 1111 card, the card for soulmate energy. It's also the card for a celebration, a time to celebrate. It almost feels to me here like the very, very beginning of a relationship, even before dating. But that beginning is definitely filled with a lot of joy and stability. What does Spirit have to say about all of this? Well, there's curiosity here. I think there's curiosity on both sides. You're curious, they're curious. The two of you are very similar. And yet there is something about the two of you where I would say that you both are not each other's normal type. Right? And yet you two are very similar. And yet you two, there's an attraction there, certainly from their point of view. But for you, there's a curiosity. And I think that's one of the reasons you've come to this reading. And Spirit is letting you know that there's a reason to be curious, right? Curiosity is, I think, one of the greatest characteristics we could have to be more, to become more, to investigate, to learn more, and to expand, right? To be curious about things and to try it. And so Spirit is saying, follow that curiosity. If there is this person you're connected to, they're crushing on you and you're curious about them, go ahead and follow that. We're going to be pulling zodiac runes in just a minute, but let me talk to you about Spirit of the Moon and Spirit of the Gesture. So for you and for them, I would say this is a cycle coming in. You may indeed be having some visions about this person, Spirit of the Moon, right? You may indeed be having some sort of daydreams that just pop into your head, visions perhaps, a cycle, again, the beginning of a cycle. But for some of you, you also have Spirit of the Gesture. So you want to be careful here. For some, there may indeed be a bit of, trickery, hustler energy there, but not necessarily from the person who's crushing on you. This is just spirits of darkness and light, oftentimes that surround a particular connection. Let me get another card for clarity on Spirit. And so you want to watch out for those energies. Let's get another card for clarity on Spirit. There we go, King of Wands. Interesting. A vision, right? So this is what you and this person very much share, a vision. And this is, again, I think what makes you so curious about them. There is a maverick style to this person. There is a leadership quality here. There's a visionary, very different vision here. There's a lot of passion, a lot of Wands energy. Right? 3 wands and the rest mostly major arcana apart from the 4 of swords. So we've got some strong, fiery energy. And now is the time to go ahead and pull out those zodiac runes to see what kind of zodiac signs you might be dealing with along with all of that fire. And earth, we have, of course, Virgo. So there's your earth energy. We also have Libra coming in. Some of you dealing with that air energy of Libra. Maybe in your chart, maybe in your person's chart. Librans love to be in a relationship. Aquarius energy, more air. Excuse me. And we finally have Sagittarius. So there's that fire. An earth, 2 air, and a fire. And take it as you will and how it resonates for you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This was your message today from Spirit on who's crushing on you and why and what Spirit has to say about it. I hope it resonated for you. And I do hope to see you back on my channel for your next Pick a Card reading. Now, for those of you who are called to stay with me for the reading for pile number 2, I'll see you over there in just a moment. Welcome to the reading for pile number 2. Pick a card. Who's crushing on you right now and why? First thing we're going to look at is what is this person's animal spirit? The scorpion, fire. Wow, somebody who's very intense, different than Scorpio, but akin. And what is it that they feel when they're around you? Physical intimacy. Yeah, there's a physical connection here. Okay. What other energies do we have? 9 of Cups, bliss, happiness. And we have as well a 10 of Wands. So a completion coming in. A real cycle ending and yet a lot of happiness coming in. What is it that they're crushing on you for? Why do they like you? Fox spirit, you're too clever. At the end of the day, you're just that clever, Scorpion, animal spirit, and Scorpios share a lot. They certainly love cleverness, intelligence. Queen of Wands, more intelligence, experience, and wisdom coming in. They love this about you. Seven of Wands, energy, a real fighter, right? A real fighter. These are all of the characteristics and traits that they absolutely are crushing on you for. What does Spirit have to say? Growth. So this whole cycle with them, this exchange, is a period of growth, maybe for them and for you. And what do we have for the spirits of darkness and light? We have spirit of the giraffe, perception, advantage, foresight, and spirit of the pumpkin. Oftentimes talking about a harvest coming in at the right time. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into who this person is. We're going to be pulling way more clarifiers, and we will also be pulling zodiac runes from the zodiac rune bag later on to see what kind of zodiac signs you might indeed be dealing with. But first and foremost, we have Scorpion and physical intimacy. So the Scorpion is a fire animal spirit, very protective. Extremely protective. The Scorpion, of course, stings first and asks questions later. This animal spirit is someone who is quite secretive, quite protective of their own sort of energy, space, their life in general, right? Scorpion energy. This is also someone who oftentimes feels very, very deeply. This is the type of person who resonates with loving hard, playing hard, hating hard. Every emotion for this person is very intense, very strong. And most importantly, they are oftentimes even hyper protective of themselves and those around them as well. So you're dealing with someone who's extremely passionate. Now, when they're around you, there's a sense of physical intimacy. There's a physical connection with you that they love and that they feel. That's what they feel when they're with you, right? So we love that. We're going to go deeper. Nine of Cups, Ten of Wands. Right now, there's some bliss in their lives, happiness coming in, and a Ten of Wands. So this person, I think, has just finished a cycle of sorts, right? And they are in a really happy place. This may indeed be a feeling of having shed some burdens, the end of perhaps shouldering responsibilities. There's something in their lives that has finally ended that has allowed them to be free, to have more time, to have less burdens, less responsibilities laid on them. And they are absolutely joyous about it. So let's go ahead and get a little deeper with the clarifiers, because I want to know a little bit more about who this person is, how they, where are they right now? And then we'll move on to why it is that they're crushing on you. But I'd like to know a little bit more about this Ten of Wands specifically that's ended for them, and just who this person is. Emperor energy, more fire, and a Wheel of Fortune. Wow. So it almost feels as though, to me, this person here, when we're talking about Emperor energy is all about being the leader, right? Divine masculine, being the leader, being in a role of authority. Something has happened, something has gone on in their lives, some kind of event has transpired, specifically the ending of something that has allowed them to really shine in their position, wherever it is. Perhaps it's in work, or just being able to take control of their own lives and have authority in their own lives. There was something definitely that was holding them back. And I want to say it feels very much like it was a sense of duty or obligation, either to a person or a group or a project. Nevertheless, they are freed up now, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning for them. So right now, this individual is crushing on you. Feels like the luck of the universe is on their side, right? All the luck in the world is on their side. A particular cycle in their life has finished to free them up to be who they want to be, to be sort of the captain of their own ship, and they are absolutely over the moon about it. And then amongst all of this is this deep crush that they have for you. Now, why? Why are they crushing on you? Because they see you resonating with fox energy, fox spirit. Think on your feet. You've impressed them and just really turned them on with your intellect. You know, your intellect, your smarts, your cleverness, your ability to see through to the heart of a situation. It's really impressed them, especially if you're dealing with somebody who's resonating with that strong divine masculine and that scorpion animal spirit energy. This is someone who's very smart themselves, very clever. And so when they see someone who is at their level, which you clearly are, it has absolutely intrigued them, excited them. And of course, this particular person, the draw, the crush, the emotions that they feel are very, very physical. Now, what else do they love about you? Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands. You don't give up. You're very individual. You fight for what you believe in. You also have a certain amount of wisdom and experience under your belt that really sets you apart. You know, you very much being a queen to their king. The Queen of Wands is she's fiery. She's fire, but she's wisdom as well. She understands what it takes, right? She understands empathy, and she can understand situations from many different sides. She's often the one that someone will go to for advice. So you really represent this kind of individual for this person, you know, someone who has a lot of respect, a lot of authority in their own right, but just so much wisdom and at the same time, so much caring through it all. And that Seven of Wands as well is that, you know, you will not let anybody sort of knock you off your square or, you believe in who you are. You believe in, what it is you do or fight for or your position. It's the energy around that they love. They love that ability that you have to have courage. And through that courage as well, more than anything, they love your intellect. You're smarty and they love it. So let me get another clarifier on what connects the two of you? Yeah, Ace of Swords. Wow, interesting. So as an emperor, they see you, and that Ace of Swords comes in. This is knowledge, truth, and power. So it could very well be that you have introduced some information in their lives, some knowledge and understanding, maybe even a whole new way of perceiving things, right? A whole new perception of things. And this has been extraordinary for them because, again, you're dealing with somebody who is already at a certain level of authority themselves. They already have a certain amount of expertise and knowledge, and yet you've brought something new to them that has opened up their horizon. It may indeed as well be as a result of knowing you, meeting you, etc., and having this crush. This knowledge or this, I want to say, information or wisdom that is new to them, that has come to them through their connection with you may indeed have very much impacted their ability to close off this cycle that they perhaps may have been stuck in. You may have been the one to bring a solution to this person. And because of that intelligence, that wiliness, and that cleverness, that experience, they're really, knocked over and have this crush on you. And, they know they like your mental. Now you're kind of in that space where they're like starting to feel very, very physical. They want a physical connection with you. And that was the next step. I think you got them first and foremost with your intellect and personality. But now what they truly feel when they're around you is they really desire that physical intimacy. Now, what does Spirit have to say about all of this growth? This connection or this crush or whatever this sort of, I'm going to say, space that you have with this person is growth. It's growth for you. It's growth for them. There's something to learn here. And Spirit is letting you know that. Yeah. So you may indeed know who I'm talking about here. If you're resonating with this, you know who this crush is. And you may indeed be the one who's brought a solution to them. You may also be thinking, what am I getting out of it? But Spirit is letting you know that there is something here that will help your growth as well. You may not know it on the surface right away, but there's something about this connection with this person that will help you grow in ways that you did not expect. Now, spirits of darkness and light are telling you, yeah, perception, foresight, advantage. There's definitely something changing about your perception, whether it's your perception of yourself or others or a particular situation. Growth is coming in. Growth in the spirit of giraffe are very simpatico, and yet we have spirit of the pumpkin. So there's a harvest coming in. But harvest comes after the seeds are sown. So it's all about the seeds that are sown in this connection that will sort of tell you what is possible, right? So very, very early on, I love these pick a card series, Who's Crushing on You, because this is all about just the very early stages of a possible connection. And, you have to crush on them back, right? So what does Spirit say about the Seven of Pentacles? Yep. Yeah. Spirit, yeah, you have achieved a lot already. You have achieved a lot, but it's almost as if you're ready to sort of take stock and maybe start a new garden, right? But there's certainly, Seven of Pentacles definitely talks about a level of manifestation of achievement, physically, financially, things that you can look to and say, yeah, I've done that. This is proof of what I have done thus far. And now I am ready for a new challenge. So there's definitely a beginning here. There's an ending here. There's right in that space in between, and that growth space in between. But right now, of course, we're talking about the very early stages, the stages of a crush, and why this person is crushing on you. All right, let's go ahead now and move on to the zodiac signs. Let's see what kind of zodiac signs you might be dealing with. Some of you are dealing with that Gemini, air energy. Yeah. Twins. Some of you are dealing with that watery Cancer. Now, Scorpio is a water sign, but Scorpion animal spirit is fire. So we have that deep water still manifesting. For some of you, we have Taurus, more earth energy coming in. And we need one more for this connection. Some of you have Capricorn. There is your earth. More earth. 2 earth signs, air, Gemini, and water, Cancer. Take that as it pertains to you and your situation. And that is the message for you today for pile number 2, who's crushing on you and why. I really hope you resonated with it, and I hope you come back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for your next pick a card. Now, for those of you who are called to stay with me for pile number 3, I'll see you over there in just a moment. Welcome to pile number 3 for the pick a Welcome to pile number 3 for the pick a card, who's crushing on you right now and why. We're going to jump right into their animal spirit. Who is this person? The Cobra. This is the inner teacher. That fiery Cobra is someone who definitely follows their inner compass. What do they feel when they're around you? Personality traits. This is interesting. They feel happy, sunny, happy, light, comfortable. Now, more energy for them. We have Empress, the divine feminine, coming in. And we also, wow, and the Emperor. Wow, Empress and Emperor showing up side by side. We're, of course, going to go deeper with clarifiers. Now, what is it that they love about you? You embody dear spirit. Someone who brings the gentle touch, someone who's a nurturer and a protector. And what other energies do they associate? 4 of Swords. Waiting, being careful, and the 6 of Wands. You're definitely coming through a victory. We're going to know more about that as well. What does Spirit have to say about all of this? The Priestess comes in. It's time to be wise, right? Use your wisdom. And what other energies do we have? Spirits of darkness and light come in with Spirit of the Gargoyle, Protection, Guardian, and Spirit of the Crow. Prophecy, messages coming in. Interesting reading. Wow. All right. So let's get right into it with who this person is and what do they feel when they're around you. Cobra. Cobra is the fiery animal spirit associated with that inner teacher. You know, the Cobra is always watching, always reminding us of our inner compass, you know, what we know to be right, what we know to be wrong, and reminding us to stay sort of in line with that, right? You could almost say it's like a conscience, right? So this is somebody who is very, very sort of idealistic, right? This person who's crushing on you. This is someone who's very true to their convictions, true to their moral center, their moral compass. This is very important to them as a person. Now, when they're around you, they feel sunny and happy. Something about your personality just makes them feel more of themselves as well. Right. And so personality traits is interesting. It says a lot about you as well as about how they feel when they're around you. Now we have Empress and Emperor. Yeah, two peas in a pod. So again, this person resonates with that energy, wanting to be part of a power couple almost feels like here to me with that Empress and Emperor energy. My feeling here is that they're embodying both parts, right? A little bit of both on their own, right? And so the person they're crushing on you, right? It almost feels as though you fit in with that, right? This is someone who is very balanced in themselves, in their characteristic, in the balance between feminine and masculine. At the same time, somebody who definitely resonates with a compatibility, a companionship that they seek and desire. This is what allows them to crush on you, to be into you. It's almost that feeling of perhaps the two of you can be together, Empress and Emperor energy. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers. Definitely someone, I think, who thinks big. Right? Thinks big. Connections are important to them. Very, very important. They almost are a definition of who they are, So let's see a little bit more. Another Six of Wands. So we have that twice in one reading. Interesting. A victory and a decision. So this person is coming in also with a victory, right? Now we'll come to your victory here, but they're coming in with a victory and options. So something about you is providing a choice. Something about this connection or this crush, there is a choice. And this has come out of a victory of some sorts. It's almost as if, I'm going to say to you, I feel here like there's a connection between the two of you that is outside of this crush. It's almost as if the two of you are sharing a particular victory. You may work together, you may be friends in some other capacity, but there's something here that you both share that is a victory for them and for you, and it's posed a sort of choice, right? They're given this choice. They may indeed be deciding between a couple of different people, You may not be the only one they're crushing on, I dare say. But something about you certainly, I would say is perk them up, right? Perk them up. And I do feel like this crush that they have for you, these desires that they have for you, and these feelings they have that you bring out in them is the reason why they're suddenly faced with a decision. They may indeed be already involved with somebody else, and something about this connection with you is forcing them to maybe have to make a decision. So now, why do they crush on you? What is it about you that they love so much? It's the deer spirit. Now, the deer spirit in this oracle deck talks about someone who is the nurturer, someone who brings the gentle touch, but brings it through strength. The deer spirit in general, as an animal spirit, is associated with divine feminine, but the mother, very much associated with the mother. And the mother, what does the mother do? The mother nurtures and protects, right? She's a warrior in one way, and in another way, she's the softest, most giving and loving. And so that balance is very much the same balance we see in this Empress energy that is coming through for your person. They love that. And they love that about you. And, that jives with that personality trait. So it's interesting because they very much, when they're around you, they feel very comfortable, right? They feel comfortable because they are very similar to who you are. And this is a theme that has run through all three readings today. Is that similarity, that compatibility. So not only is it that makes them feel so good, but it's that you also embody almost in a way everything that they're looking for, that nurturer and that warrior. So what else is coming in for you? Four of Swords, Six of Wands. So here we have that other victory for you, and yet a decision. You're kind of pulling back, being very cautious, careful, not wanting to make any plans just yet. Four of Swords is a card of consolidation, pulling back from any major decisions to make sure that your power base of security is strong, that you're making decisions from a place of power and strength. And again, that victory. So the two of you are sharing something. The two of you are sharing this. And just as they are kind of faced with a decision right now that might be quite difficult for them, it's not so much that you're faced with a decision, but you are taking your time to make your next move. Right? So there's something going on here. For sure. I do feel like this person may not be free and clear. They may have a crush on you, but indeed be connected to someone else. There is a sense here of both of you being cautious, taking your time. You may indeed have a crush on them as well. The Who's Crushing on You pick a card series that I do on my channel, it can be very different from week to week. Some weeks you have someone crushing on you. You have no idea who this person is. You kind of have inkling of who they are, but you're not necessarily crushing on them back. This particular reading, I feel like you're both crushing on each other, but there are other circumstances that are in the way. Lovers, there we go. Lovers. Lovers card shows up as a connection for the two of you. So this is a crush, but it's almost beyond a crush. There is a seed of a relationship here. There is a lover's connection between the two of you. And yet the idea of lovers, or the scenario of being in a connection with a lover, is exactly what's around the two of you that's also causing you both to be a little bit hesitant. Again, points to a crush who's not necessarily free and clear to crush, right? Or, you can look but don't touch. You know what I mean? It's one of those scenarios. There's a lover energy here, a crush energy. And there's also an energy of, if we decide on this, it is a point of no return. Now, what does Spirit have to say about all of this? The Priestess, she's reminding you to be wise. Be wise. Remember your lessons. Remember any other lessons you've learned in the past from particular relationships, maybe messy relationships. What comes to mind here is that it's a little bit complicated. Right? It's a little bit complicated. So stay wise, right? Stay wise in terms of relying on your own knowledge, experience, right? And wisdom. And Spirit wants you to remember that specifically for this scenario, right? This is a tread lightly. Spirit of the gargoyle, spirit of the crow. Yeah. Guardian, protector, intimidation. There is that factor here. A feeling, again, almost a feeling from the outside coming in. Third party. But not third party in a sense when we talk about in a normal love connection reading. The two of you are not necessarily connected just yet in a sort of agreed upon way. Again, I'm feeling here that there's outside influences and connections that are being protected and guarded. Prophecy and messages are coming through. Spirit of the crow. Bad news sometimes. It doesn't always have to be bad news. I think the crow gets a bad rap sometimes. The crow's more associated with just bringing spirits from the beyond, messages from spirits, messages from beyond, prophecy. Pay attention to that. There is an aspect here to this crush. I'm going to say that is, that is complicated, involves other people, and it's not one of these things to rush into. Yet and still, the both of you share this victory, and it's hard to ignore. This victory that the two of you share is very, very intimate. In whatever way this victory plays out, it's very intimate because it's only the two of you sharing it. And so there is an intimacy here of this connection that nobody else is a part of, and it may indeed make some other people jealous. So this is your person who's crushing on you. Let's go ahead and pull out the zodiac runes and see. Oh, Scorpio. Some of y'all dealing with a Scorpio. That strong scorpionic energy. Some of you are dealing with an Aries. That strong fire energy. Some of you are dealing with a Pisces. Strong water. And some of you are dealing with a Leo. So we've got some powerhouses here. 2 water and 2 fire coming in. Very strong. This may be your signs and your natal chart and your person's natal chart. However this resonates for you. And this is your reading for pile number 3. Who's crushing on you right now? And why? I do hope it resonated. I hope it gave you a little bit of clarity into a situation that you are a part of right now. And that is it. Thank you so much. For those of you who stayed with me for all 3 piles, thank you so much. I wish you all love, life, and happiness. This is Bow and Arrow Tarot, and I hope to see you right back here on my channel for your next Pick a Card reading. Bye-bye, everyone.